Hi everyone, this is Sunette, and in this video I would like to continue with the word shaping, within the statement shaping a healthy self-style. And I'd like everyone to join me within this process and journey of sharing so that you for yourself can, engage with this statement in a way that it serves as a guideline for you personally within this process of self and living. And to also understand my relationship with me, with self and living, and shaping a healthy self-style will also support with more context for you in your relationship process and journey with me. And in this, we already set a equal platform, where you start from within the statement or stand on the statement, shaping a healthy self-style. I'm in the process of shaping a healthy self-style for me. And so do I. I'm also standing on this platform statement of shaping a healthy self-style. But for most part, in any given process that we start, any venture, any project, and this is a personal life lesson that I have faltered on many a time, where whenever I start something and I don't have a defined starting point for myself, a platform that I stand on, that I know, all right, this is what I'm doing, this is who I am and what I'm doing. I don't yet completely know how it's going to, progress or evolve or in a way get a life of its own, because that's what any creation really does, is an extension of ourselves. Once you start with something, that starting point of how you define it and what it's going to be is only the beginning. As you continue with it and you evolve and mature, the starting point of the project or the process also evolves and matures together. But you always have your first brick, your first foundation laid down. All right. So what I would like everyone to imagine is this platform, okay? And on this big platform, you've got the word shaping a healthy self-style. All right. Now, we want to be able to stand on that platform and have defined each and every word for ourselves in a way where we can stand in confidence with these words that we are going to be living as an extension of ourselves, within ourselves and our everyday life. And as much as my definition and process and journey within these words are unique and individual, so will yours be. But we will meet on an equal level of having a general context and understanding of the source of what we want to create within ourselves and together within these words. All right. So imagine you're standing on a platform, and you can make that platform any color, symbol, design, pattern, also the words. And I, for example, like a circular platform with glowing words of each letter being a different neon color, like very colorful. So standing on the word shaping. Now, here comes my story and process and journey of what does shaping self mean. For some time, I had to, kind of on a daily basis, whenever I noticed a definition of the word shaping come up within me, where I would look at shaping as body shaping, toning, all the different kind of physical shapes. It's the only thing that ever came up in my head sometimes. Not anything else, but that was my programming in relation to how I conditioned myself throughout my life. So that's a very limited definition of the word shaping. And now I want to expand myself within this word into myself. But then my mind kind of went, but yourself doesn't have a shape. What are you talking about? How the hell are you going to give yourself a shape? Is that even possible? Can I? May I? That's also the other things that came up. Like, am I allowed to do this? Like, oh my goodness. It is extraordinarily entertaining sometimes to see the bizarre things that your mind can come up with. Then I said, well, this is my process. I am myself, and my body, and my life, and the nature and context in which I am going to be doing the shaping of myself is to assist and support me within the vision that I have for self and living, for shaping a healthy self-style, in expanding my living awareness unto not only myself, in focusing on my problems and issues, but also on focusing on my potential, my purpose, the best of me coming through in my life, and how to express that more with other people in my life. So here, I started with shaping as sitting down with myself and going shaping, self, and nothing came up because I kept on wanting to use a geometry, a design, a reference. So what the other things that came up in my mind was cartoons, avatars, creating my own kind of a personal avatar, inside my head, of what would shape myself. Then came circles and all sorts of things, and architecture and buildings. And I was sitting there just looking at what was coming up in my mind. Very intriguing. And going in deeper into the word shape, design, self. And when I placed the word shape and self together, I realized that I wanted to use certain shapes that I like the most in my travels, or that I've noticed, or that intrigued me or interested me. Like, okay, let me drop any geometrical, circular, avatar, cartoon, picture, body design of shape. Let me just drop it. If I put shape and self together, I then realized, okay, it's not about shaping myself. It's about myself shaping. So I placed myself first. So I was trying to force a shape onto myself. Not going to happen. But what I can do is essentially mold myself into a shape that represents my utmost potential. Okay? But still, I had to go, all right, but then what would that shaping be? How do I represent my self-shaping process? I realized shaping anything, if you ever look at clay into a pot or a mug, you start and it is just this mush, right? So I kind of felt like a mush myself when I looked at the word shape. And eventually you slowly but surely start with a shaping process over and over. And eventually you get the beautiful result of what it is that you want to create. So you had something in mind, but how it would come out exactly the first time. Remember, this is your first time doing pottery class. That would be me. Not knowing how it's going to come out. I've got an idea, but obviously it might come out completely different. And then I realized, all right, girl, look, shaping yourself, that's going to take time. It's going to go bit by bit by bit. So I had to do a step in between. What is the self-shaping process all about? How do I get to the shaping? What's the in-between process that I may have forgotten about? So then I took it finally to my self-shaping process is how I go about perfecting, tweaking, changing, amending some little nuances about myself that I noticed or become aware of during the day. So I didn't go massive, like I'm going to do this massive, throw out all the clothes in my closet and redo that whole closet in one go. Completely different style. No. It's more like kind of rearranging that first happens in the closet. Meaning it's first like an arranging of self that happens, this shaping process. And this is where I'd like everyone to also have a go with and a look at, is for this recording video to look at what is the little things about yourself. Just look at the little things that you know that sometimes irritate you, that you know you could change. In being rushed when you're cooking, noticing you walk at a pace when you're doing laundry, being very fast with your looking around with people and crowds when you're walking, instead of just being calm and slowing down, right? So I'd like everyone to observe and, in a way, pickpocket the little things that we tend to miss and take for granted within ourselves, that we don't notice, but is actually always there. And then in the next video, we will continue with the self-shaping process and the how-to in between, and how we'll, over time in these videos, continue with specific shaping of, the little things about ourselves that can actually really have great impacts in how it changes ourselves and that of others. Thank you very much, everyone.